everyone, I'm Emily from Chipped and Polished. Today I am testing a new product. This is a tintable wood stain from We Refinish, and the idea is that you have your clear stain and then you add a few drops of this smaller bottle of the pigment. They have several different colors and they're wood tones, and then they go into the more fun primary colors. So you can color match, mix up all sorts of fun ones. So I don't want to test this on a furniture piece yet, since it is my first time testing it. So I have a couple of these that I'm going to use. I'm going to do one in a whitewash, tan wash colors, and then I'm going to do another one that's going to be more primary colors. We get to have fun with both. Let's get started. Okay, so here are all of the colors that we have in the kit. Like I said, we have the browns and such, and then we've got the more fun primary colors. I am probably going to stay with white and the light brown for this first project, and then we'll move on to these for this project. So I've also got a measuring cup, a bowl for mixing, got some notes since I am going to be testing it, a rag for wiping it down, and some stir sticks. Okay, for this first one I'm going to use the clear gel one, and it does say to shake it up really good first. After this measuring cup, we're just going to do a little bit in here. Don't need a lot. And this doesn't have really any strong odor to it or anything either, so that's good. I'm going to start with the white one because I can always go darker, and the wood's already pretty tan anyways. And I'm going to shake this one also because I did see it settling in a couple of the other smaller bottles. Okay, just going to do one squirt. That may be enough. Just as a thought on there, the pigment was very thin, but the actual stain kind of thickens it, so it balances each other out. Looks pretty well mixed. And this is just a couple of scraps of old t-shirt. I think I was probably expecting it to be more like a paint wash. I don't know if it shows up on camera. It is a little bit lighter, and you can see it in a little bit of the grain too. That's what we have now. Probably gonna let this dry and see what it looks like. We may come back and do another coat. Okay, so this is for those of you who know that you're not gonna want the primary colors or anything like that. You're just gonna want to stick with the traditional wood tones. I'm going to go ahead and test those out too, just on a piece of scrap wood that I have. I think that this one is the reddish brown. It's either the reddish brown or the dark brown. This one is the medium brown. This is the light brown. I want to say that this is the reddish brown because I think I accidentally got a couple of extra drops. That's why this one is so much darker. And if this is the reddish brown, that would make this first one the dark brown. I just didn't add enough pigment to it. And then this is the orange brown. So we can mix the colors and get a custom color match or anything like that. And also, if it's too thin like that one is, just add more pigment. This is the first time I'm trying them, so that's why it was probably a little too thin for me this first time. Since I didn't quite get the ratio right the first time, I wanted to go back and try again with the light brown and the dark brown to try and get that right. So now it's much more pigmented, it's a little bit darker, so you can really get a true sense of what the color would be if the ratio is correct. Okay, so we've got the Hello Spring one now, and this time I'm going to be using just the water-based one instead of the gel one. They're both water-based, but this one is not gel. And this one is also pretty much odorless. I don't smell anything from it. I do wish that they would put a little bit more exact measurements on the bottle, just because I would prefer to have it, but I know that they also did that so that we could decide how pigmented we wanted our stain to be. I would still say it's very DIY friendly. I'm going to do the blue one now. Just a couple drops. I'm looking at just the stir stick. That looks a little more teal than I wanted. I was hoping for more of like a royal blue. Let me try adding a little bit more. Okay. I feel like that's probably better. And I specified on it this is a wiping stain, so I don't really want to use a paintbrush and then have brush strokes or something like that. I want to go by the manufacturer's directions. I'm going to use Q-tips instead. I think that should be about the same look. That still feels really light. Try a little bit more and see what we get. Still very light, not quite the color I was thinking it would be, but I still like it. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more, just as long as we're playing around with it and I can do what I want. That's probably way too much. That is what I was thinking it would be. It does feel a little bit thicker. I don't mind that. Okay, that looks really messy, but I think I'm gonna leave it here and let it dry today. And then I'll come back tomorrow, sand the top of it to clean up all of the little specks of glue that bled through. And then we'll do more colors. Okay, so it has been more than 24 hours. It's been a few days now, and everything is definitely dry. On this one, I did go ahead and go back and do a second coat of the white stain, and I added a little bit more pigment to it so it would show up a little bit whiter, and I like how it turned out. The only other thing I did was take some fine tip Sharpies and go ahead and color in because I thought it would be pretty. This one, only other thing I've done to it was to try and sand the edges along this top layer to try and get that blue stain off. And then the plan for today is to go ahead and go over the rest of the raw wood with some of the fun colors and color it in. Only other thing I wanted to say is that using this just as a clear coat across your piece before staining, that's going to act as your wood conditioner. Just don't add any tint to it and use just the stain. And I didn't use a brush the other day. I am going to today. I tried it in a couple of the nooks and crannies around this and it turned out fine. Just wipe off your excess. You should be fine using a brush. Okay, so my camera died, but here's what I ended up with. And it's not meant to look cute. I know there's plenty of mistakes on here, but it's just meant to show these are some of the colors that you could get between mixing them and what's already in the bottles. Okay, so after using it, I really liked it. I thought it was very user-friendly, very beginner-friendly. Super easy cleanup, easy to mix all of the colors, and again, there's a lot of great colors in the kit. The one thing that I did not like was how open the bottle cap is on the pigment or uni-tint bottle. If you look, it's just a little too open for me, and I would prefer it if it was like a condiments bottle, like a ketchup bottle, where it only comes out if you squeeze it. Other than that, I think it's a fantastic product and a great idea to have a kit like this where you can mix up however much stain you need without having a bunch of cans that take up space or trying to color match and buying several different ones that just don't work. So I would love to know if you would try this kit, and if so, what color would you use first? What project would you try it on? I'm going to leave a link for it in the description below, so go ahead and check it out. I do plan to use this same kit on another project coming up, so be sure to check out my next few videos. I plan to do a tan wash look on 2 twin beds that I want to turn into a king size. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please go ahead and do so. That really helps me out. You can also follow me at Chipped and Polished on Facebook and Instagram. Also, be sure to go ahead and check out my other videos if you enjoy DIYs, furniture makeovers, and learning how to do your own.